Hello, friends on the internet.
We love you.
Yes, we do, because you are here to tune in to our show, the ReBoot Review :
It's Alphanumeric.
I'm Robin.
I'm Katie.
And we're going to watch Reboot and talk about Reboot. So, buckle in for some...
It's gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah, with a whole lot of thoughts coming at you. So, today's episode is Between a Raccoon and a Hard Place.
One of my least favorites. So
Yeah, get ready for that.
Remember how we talked about we weren't going to complain very much anymore? If you watched last episode.
We're going to make an exception for this one, I guess. Yeah.
Just for the character.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate this episode. I never did, but it's certainly not going to be on my top 10s.
I just find it unsettling.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? Let's go ahead and get into that. Yeah, let's just buckle in for some Rocky the Rabid Raccoon, I think his name is, starting now. And this was a point where we had different credit sequences a lot of the time. Because I think I saw like the last episode and was like, oh, this is what our credit sequence is going to look like now. But I think they just didn't want to spoil anything.
That's right.
That
so
was
they put in that extra effort, which is great. I love that they did that.
Yeah, it was a nice touch, because now we're getting all these clips that are like,
totally going to
this
spoil
is stuff we're going to see. Yeah.
We saw that one already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
now
haven't
we know.
seen that
She's
yet.
fine.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. He's bad news.
Yeah, that's not going to be fine, just FYI.
A lot of clips from... Oh, great. There.
Yeah.
That's the problem when you only have a few episodes to work with for your title sequence.
Yeah, you're pretty much going to end up spoiling some stuff. That's a nice little shot, actually, to have going with that musical beat.
To corrupt and conquer.
Guardian Schmurdian.
Oh yeah, and I forgot, like, they label the episode, like, it's like episode 3.1.2, which is like season 3 first story arc, but the story arcs were broken down that specifically. In the last episode, I talked about how AndrAIa was the story editor on this, and they really did just sit down and have a big old planning session, writing notes every which way, and it was like, yep, we've got our season 3 story outlined now, which is kind of the dream of how you would get to do it.
Right,
for a lot
that's
of writers,
right.
you know, like, we can just make a whole plan and stick with it. And we know we're getting these 13 episodes, or 12. Forget how
They
many.
do a lot with very few episodes.
Yeah, it feels like a much longer season than it is, honestly. Okay, wait, I just have to... The blonde binom we just saw, the Zero binom, is that, like, the mom? Is she now part of, like, the military...
I don't know, but I mean, that is who she looks like.
Oh, man, you had... I need to find... You had a quote about Mike the TV. I don't know if it's in your notes or mine.
Might be yours.
I think it's mine. But he's just, like... He's a lot shinier and a lot bendier, I think was what we were remarking. Like, he's suddenly, like, kind of squishy.
Yeah, which is, you know, just like we said for Dot, like, it's amazing, like, you can do a lot more dynamic work with facial expressions, but for Mike, it just opens up so many doors.
Bouncier and shinier is what we called him.
Yeah, now that works for Mike.
It does, actually, yeah. It fits him very well.
He got shined real nice.
And buffed him up.
Yeah, maybe
Gave him a good
Cyrus.
polish. Yeah, Cyrus came over and polished him.
This is my life now. Oh, so sad.
Yeah. I think this is very, like, grim images of mainframe and people, like, actually suffering. Like, stuff that was alluded to in Identity Crisis, and now seeing it being real.
It is tough because
My guardian doll.
You know, Megabyte, it's always hard when the virus destroys the computer, but then where will the virus live?
Yeah, it's really...
This is a garbage place. Do you really want to live in garbage land, Megabyte?
As long as it's his.
My garbage. Maybe he's actually just Oscar the Grouch.
Delete him.
Or a miserable hoarder.
Yeah, maybe.
And, like, this is, like,
As you may have noticed,
so gruesome.
Steaming boots.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Number one is
Problem with
gone.
that? Excellent.
I guess he just destroys a little bit of the city to teach people lessons.
In that one biome.
Well, yes. Someone's
him
got
a
to be made
smoking-
example of. And I know, they're really big on the smoking thing.
Yeah, just leaving people as like puffs of smoke.
Try and turn mainframe against you. What for?
Propaganda. Divide and conquer. It's a cheap shot. Megabyte to a T.
Funny, I do remember watching it
We
and
must
kind of
fight
getting
fire
propaganda,
with
being old
fire.
enough.
Yeah.
But, like, really getting the concept through this episode.
Yeah, I mean, the story arc in a way, and this episode specifically, is almost kind of like a useful teaching tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Harry Potter's sort of the same. Not to spend too much time talking about non-reboot stuff, but, you know, propaganda is a big part of the fifth book in Harry Potter. And, yeah, it's a kind of... It's a good way to introduce young people to the concept through their fictional media.
Yeah, but I think it's good for kids to understand that, especially in this day and age.
Yeah,
you know?
really, where the media is so easily manipulated, you know, by people who
Thanks,
want
ReBoot.
to use it.
Go
Yeah.
into the games?
Wait! Mouse and AndrAIa's icons are not formatted to reboot. If they enter a game, they will be trapped.
I find it interesting
that
that
one
Mouse's
comes.
icon
All I
specifically
need
is
is a
not formatted
workstation.
for it. And I don't think that's ever explained why. She
Yeah.
doesn't have an icon like everyone else does.
Maybe she's not a normal sprite.
Yeah, I got the impression it was something that like it was so that she could kind of fly under the radar, be all dark web,
right, of course.
you know. She doesn't have the same ID
right?
on her that everyone else
Yeah,
does
and,
because
you
she
get the
doesn't
sense
want to be
she's
traced.
She's not necessarily from a computer.
Thank
Belts!
you, Mouse.
More
Does
belts.
this mean I can read
AndrAIa has
the
more
belts?
belts, or you mean Mouse's belts?
from
Oh my
his
god,
AndrAIa also has belts.
belts. Just everyone gets belts now.
Are you
And now-
sure about this,
buckles.
Andrea?
Now,
I've
when
never
Mouse
been more
upgraded
sure
her suit,
of
she was the one
You
who
know
put belts on
Megabyte will try to
her.
stop
So
us.
maybe she was
Hey,
jealous
I
of
already
AndrAIa's style.
That must have been, or inspired.
Anyway, Dot'll think of
Jealous.
something. She always does.
Come on, it's Mouse. I
True.
don't do jealous.
And you really think this will work?
It's such a simple plan. How can it fail?
Well...
Look, we don't have time to...
That was a good Fong
It was
moment.
a very good.
That was one thing that was in my notes from us watching this episode before. Is they really do a
You
good
know,
job of
Fong,
turning Fong
I've
into a
been
character this season,
With the
Yeah.
plans
rather
that
than
closed and
just
locked,
kind
Megabyte
of a
can't even
gag,
attack.
Yeah, a dopey little.
or a
thing.
device, like a
Yes,
you know.
that's right.
Bob has effectively locked
source
us
of
in the
information.
cage.
Yeah, and you see like the transition of power too, because before he was kind of the powerful,
Yeah,
mysterious leader.
this is when Dot kind of unofficially assumes the position of command.com,
Yeah.
just as her like natural next step in her career.
Yeah, from business owner to political leader
Yeah,
to commander.
For the moment.
that's how it goes, right?
Make sure his humiliation
But it would make sense
is
too that,
controlled.
you know, the
I want the
operator
masses
of a
to wallow
system
in his iniquity.
wouldn't be like the virus control. So it
Yeah.
would make sense that Fong would be good in peaceful times when everything's running within normal parameters.
Yeah, but you gotta bring in the big guns.
Right.
When
there
we're
are
in a
big
crisis. Yep. Or that one really big gun Dot had.
That's right. It's gone now.
Sorry.
Report coming in.
So many
Visual
mustaches.
confirmation. It's Dot and Enzo.
Let's go! All squadrons!
That's right, they both have mustaches, don't they?
It's true, and very distinctive
Like,
mustaches.
right, like they were just like, how can we make this binome distinct from all the other binomes we've seen thus far? Mustache. So how
get
do we
a
make this
mustache.
guy distinct from this other guy? Different mustache.
Obviously. Come on, Derek, keep up.
What the?
Sir, I have a lock on another set of sprites. I've got another two, and another, and another. Sir, the whole sky
And it's
is
cute.
filled
It's
with
cute how
Dot
much these
and
4 episodes are
Enzos.
about them being the underdogs.
Yes.
Like they're the ones who don't have the resources, so they have to like outsmart them,
And they do.
because let's face it, Megabyte's health is never that competent. AndrAIa, on the other hand,
Yep, she is a psycho.
while nearly killing Mouse.
She has no problem doing that to her.
I mean, to be fair, you know Mouse is always going to land on her feet.
That's
That's kind of a trait of You know what I meant. They don't call her Cat, Robin.
Like, it just shows that AndrAIa is willing to kill anyone to get what she wants.
Right. Which is near Enzo. I think Enzo needs to run.
Yeah, I know. Maybe he needs to take that as a signal,
Major hint,
but
yeah.
I can survive here. Is all I knew before I met you, Enzo. But better get into character, Guardian.
You're that young guardian, ain't you?
and yes, I did have that toy.
He is officially called Prospector Binome, by the way. I did check that.
Good. I'm glad you did.
Right, just so we can know.
The only likable part of this
It's-
entire episode. Well, this game, I should say.
Yeah, true. Yeah, the other episode has nice moments.
All is ready, Lord Megabyte.
Well, the rest of everything around the game is actually good.
Although
this
we've got
creepy
more of
stuff.
this, like, actual horror. And the fact
You know,
that...
when you say actual horror, you're right. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just so creepy and yucky. Nice orb.
Right? That was a nice way of doing that transition. That was very creative.
That's cool.
Have you done to me?
You were all but destroyed in an explosion. We had to rebuild you with some minor modifications.
Who made me look like this? I like it.
That is very in character for Hex.
Absolutely.
To be fair. But yeah, no, in the official art book, I think Gavin Blair is quoted specifically as referring to this as bondage Hex. Like, that's what they actually called her in the studio. Yeah. It's,
Now,
With all the belts.
yeah, more belts.
My command.
Quick, we're going to need more belts.
We just have so many belts in the cartoonery. We need to use them somewhere. See, it's funny how, like, him fixing his sister and making her more powerful, all that stuff would not be creepy.
Yeah.
Save for the fact that he is, like, controlling her with, a dog belt. Like,
yeah, and
every time
the
you're
outfit
naughty.
that they put her in.
Yes,
like,
paired
you know.
with bondage. Yeah, it's creepy.
Only Guardians have them.
We're saved then.
And Scott McNeil being so very Scott McNeil
Oh, well, this
as
one
our
was
Prospector
broken.
Binome.
But it can tell us what the game is.
Great leaping lizards, boy.
That was a nice bit of Foley with hearing, like, the shriek of the hawk in the background as he says that. Like,
Good
just a little bit
noticing.
of quiet atmosphere. More of this. So,
Guardian.
notably, Rocky the Rabid Raccoon is also voiced by Stevie Valance, the voice of Mouse. So, remember that, at least, to help
Yes,
you
it's pretty
enjoy
cool. Like, Mouse
Rocky a little
is
more.
talented.
Yeah,
you can
very
like that.
versatile actress.
But it's just, I think it's just because I never liked Looney Tunes, and maybe that's the thing.
Yeah,
this
this is just the Looney Tunes, and you can tell the artists are having a really good time, just like completely, you know, bringing out every Looney Tunes convention and trope that they can. You know, this is the kind of stuff animators love doing. It's in their DNA.
Yeah. And I mean, this is the episode too. Like last episode, sure, we had a lot of very unique game design going, and like all of these, I do like how diverse all the games are, and that's really fun and cool. I'm like, I don't like this one as much, but that's my personal preference. Like some people probably thought this was really funny.
A really fun episode, yeah.
And it's because they're having so much fun designing them.
Yeah.
Gassy
I do like the idea that so much in this game is achieved with these like Rube Goldberg devices, which you can also tell they were having a lot of fun with. And just seeing how ridiculous they could make it like this.
It would be really fun to be a designer or an animator or
storyboard artist.
Yeah,
doing
right.
This stuff. Yeah.
Planning out all the fun things. Knowing they had the capability to make it.
Yeah, that's just it. Like suddenly there was so much more they could do for so much cheaper. This, of course, extremely Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In every way.
And it's just like, it's like, how much more can you add on to it to make it more elaborate? Like, it's not just that he gets hit in the head with a falling turkey. It's that then causes him to walk onto a train track. Like, it was just as elaborate as they could possibly make it.
And that's the only way that you could get the user on this level.
Right.
Stole your zip board?
That's what I said.
You're telling me that my little brother is trapped in a game with a game sprite?
With a game sprite who loves him.
What?
AndrAIa
Todd, what? You can't possibly be surprised.
Yeah.
You know that.
I think she just mostly wasn't ready to have that conversation about her little brother.
Must be ready to get them
Yeah,
saved
that's
when they
right.
win
Because
the
she has
game.
been the parental
Megabyte's
figure.
forces
Exactly.
are
She still sees him as a little
She's
boy.
like, he's still a little kid.
My child.
Can't be in love
what
with my
we
little
need
kid.
is a plan.
I think I'm all out of plans, Fong.
This being, of course, the first episode where AndrAIa's thing with bikes starts.
This is where it all began.
Yeah.
Oh, and that voice.
He does do a really good job with that. Like,
He does.
this is a good actor.
A good bit.
Although we have noted before that when Enzo's face with real human's flesh tone does get really into uncanny valley territory. Like,
Yeah.
being just a little bit
Too weird.
too real, but not real enough. I mean, the oversized head doesn't help, the Elmer Fudd head.
No. You know, one thing, I know we've passed the moment, but when they were on the bike, the music, was that the Bad Bob music?
It might have. You know what? I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna check and see how close that was. It sounds like they probably went with a very similar kind of
If not the
theme.
exact same one, it does seem almost, too similar.
I mean, that might be what Bob Buckley has in his back pocket for like
Right. This
road
is
music.
motorcycle music.
Yeah, because I think a lot
But
of
knowing
TV composers
ReBoot and the
work
way
that.
they reference themselves
Yeah,
so often,
true.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's catching up! Now just wait a tad, boy. I'm gonna take my chances here.
The rocket will crash and delete you!
Leave him, Enzo. We've got to stop the user.
I can't leave him! I'm a guardian!
You can leave him.
What are you doing?
She's like, see, it's that easy.
You grab his feet.
See, she
Okay,
is
where are
she
we
is
going?
certifiable.
Ruthless.
We go that way!
This game is very colorful, especially when you contrast it with the last one. You know.
Right? They definitely had fun, and like it must have been kind of hard work too to make sure every game was very different.
Yeah, and had its own distinctive aesthetic to it.
He's
Yeah.
that guardian, yeah. Jeez, bit young if you ask me, for sure.
I do like the way that you can see a mainframer outside of the game and then see that same mainframer in the game.
Yes,
And like
yeah.
they're rebooted now, but you're like, oh, that voice, that's this binome, you
Yeah.
know?
Bob rescued you. You stayed conscious, for sure.
Right there.
And rebooting as the Scarecrow.
Yeah, gotta be fun that stuck up there. What would you be able to do?
Point, apparently.
Oh no! He's going down to the bonus level! There's an extra wife coin down there! Come on, we gotta get
This
ahead of
is
him.
a point at which the games do start to feel more like actual games.
Yes, right.
know,
The bonus
A
level.
bonus level
yeah.
with an extra, and again, the fact that Rocky has multiple lives, and they
Yeah.
have to get rid of all of his lives first, right? Like there's kind
It's
of
not
an awareness
that
of
easy.
yeah.
But older games would have been like win-lose.
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, a lot
What
simpler.
now?
So this does tend to reflect very
Guardian?
well what games were
Got an
becoming.
idea.
Right, in time.
Yeah.
It's a cool moment.
Yeah.
They took their sweet time to get to that extra life. I mean, how did they get there first?
It's just a good point. In the transition, obviously.
Yeah, really.
Now, how in tarnation do we get out of here?
Enzo! Hey, buddy, can you spare some change? What?
Although, at the same time, this is another case where if you were playing a game, we're the user again,
Right.
for purposes of this, you're playing a game, and there's a bonus coin, bonus
then a
life,
random
and then
character.
a random NPC in the game grabs your bonus coin and just like pops
Makes
out of
off
the
with it.
scene. Like, what do you think was going on?
I do really like these zombie ghosts.
Yeah,
They're
that's
super cool.
that would be fun to be a biome and reboot as a
Right, yeah.
zombie ghost biome.
I'm really bored. Oh, wait, here he comes.
Although I do like how they still all look like binomes. Like it's cute.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
To go.
I also like the idea of a game that's so random that you would go from like a desert to a farm to a subway in your levels.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Just
is
because it's cartoony.
Kind of, yeah. That's kind of Sonic the Hedgehog-ish because it's like, you know, you would have a lot of different types of levels. The factory, the green zone,
Yeah, that's
the
right.
ancient ruins, the lava level.
Yum yum! Lot of
And that she like thrives on mashed potatoes.
I
like
do-
it's
yeah,
such
I
a
know.
random.
Of course you like them.
And I like this little music riff here. With the percussion matching him. And we discussed this joke because it feels like there should be more joke there.
Yeah.
Like it seems like there's going to be a reveal of something.
Yeah. And
there's
isn't.
not. And it just seems creepy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
It's funny, like, how these things are like, that's just, you know, that's just a gag that everyone accepts as okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not okay.
No, it felt like there was supposed to be a turnaround, and yeah, no.
No.
I mean,
Kid
in the
show.
same way that, like, AndrAIa is the equivalent of, like, what, a 12-year-old girl, a 13-year-old girl, and Rocky Raccoon just instantly
Right, that's right. Gives her the
lays
kiss.
a big old kiss on her the minute it sees her, and, you know, it's like, yeah, it's not really funny.
It's when you think, it's those things, like, when you really think
Think
about
about
it,
it.
is that actually okay?
yeah.
But again, like, that's, like, 90s cartoons were still in that era where those kinds of jokes were. Sailor Moon!
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sailor Binome.
Right.
This is her
Sailor
first
Moon.
appearance, I think. I mean, it's Sailor Moon.
Well, yeah, right. No, but you're right. You're correct. It's Sailor Bino.
Hide you, boy.
AndrAIa! Your icon! It worked!
Guardian, we got company.
Surrender! Resistance is useless! Anyone
I love
attempting to
resistance
escape
is
will
useless.
We know what you really wanted to say.
We appreciate that you tried.
What'd I do?
Look!
Hooray! Where'd you get those?
And
Oh,
the
right.
same
Haha.
trick.
With the same plan!
Megabyte is gonna be very, very angry!
We were still at a stage in the show, though, where we could end with everybody laughing together.
That's right.
That doesn't last much longer.
Oh, wait,
Wait.
Bob's dead. He's not, guys. Don't worry.
Right? Like, you know this by now, right?
Yeah, I mean, he'll be fine. I mean, he's really degraded and kind of gross, but he's fine.
But he's okay and probably traumatized.
Just a little. But, you know, he
fine.
can handle himself there.
Yep. It's okay, everybody. All right, so that was Between a Raccoon and a Hard Place. Any final thoughts on that episode?
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, I pretty much said everything I thought about it. It's just
It's a good one, except it's one of your least favorites.
It's
but
just one of those. Well, that's it. Like, it's just I can appreciate why people would like it. I like that.
yeah, it's
what
not,
it adds
it's
to
not
the art.
badly made.
No, and it's a great way to show the story of them overcoming the propaganda and
Yeah.
teamwork and seeing Enzo as someone who's not just a baby.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, this is because Enzo, the last episode, Enzo was kind of being babysat by his big sister.
Right.
In a way, and having to prove to her that he could.
Now he's being
be in
babysat by
charge.
his girlfriend.
You know, this is really a running thread in his life now that we think. He never
Yeah,
is
he
without
just gets
one or the
passed
other.
right off. That's so funny.
One of those men who never really learns how to take care of himself without.
No, he may go all beefcake, but he's still Just a kid at heart.
Yeah.
Well, actually, technically, he is, isn't he?
Yeah, because
never mind. Don't worry, guys. Don't even worry.
We're not going to
about
think
it.
too hard about how that timeline works, but
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. If there's no further comment, then this has been the Reboot Review. I'm Robin.
I'm Katie.
And until next episode, stay frosty.
I love you guys.